You know, some people say, don't cross me.
Yeah.
You know, don't you cross me. What does that mean, don't cross me? You know what I'm saying? You know.
Don't betray.
Yeah, don't betray.
Don't betray.
Yeah, you know, but it's actually saying stay within the balance. Don't cross me, man. You know what I'm saying? We have been using terminology in a wrong way.
Can you talk about the death of Jesus real quick? You said a real short explanation right now.
The death, well, my understanding, Jesus never existed. It's a myth. It's a myth. It's mythological. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jesus never existed. Jesus, or the man they call Jesus, is symbolically used. It is you. Okay? It is the forces within you. Okay? Okay. Jesus, right? Emmanuel, whatever, went to Egypt. Egypt represents what? The place of bondage. Physical. Egypt dealt with physical. Down at the lower chakra, which the color is red. The parting of the Red Sea. Here, red. Party. What's the party? These two energies down here, these serpents, what they call the caduceus, this symbol is the symbol of you. And Jesus represented that crucified Savior called Haru. But Haru is the son of light, which represents you. It represents who you are. Going up the spinal column, this energy takes place. He became Jesus the carpenter, Jesus of Nazareth, Jesus of Bethany, Mary's son. As the story elevates, he elevates into different stations along this spinal column. Okay? The disciples, 12 of them, represent the 12 cranial nerves in the brain. Now, I'm just sharing this from masters that have sat with me. So this is not, you know, just my thing. I got my little way of relaying it, but this came from masters that I've sat with. Muhammad never existed. All of these are metaphors. All of these are symbolic stories. The original Arab were dark Cushites. Not the light-skinned Arab, but I ain't gonna go there. I'm trying to keep within, you know, I ain't trying to diss nobody. But there's a lot of damage that was done to us. See, now I'm on another level. See, you know, before, you know, now I'm talking to you. My fault. When Jesus went up to Calvary, Calvary was symbolic to Moses going into the mountain. Muhammad going into the mountain. Jesus going to Calvary was taking an upward journey into the skull, the place of skulls, Golgotha. And it was here that these two energies crossed each other, which is the crucifix. Crucifixion does not mean the death. It was actually an enlightenment. It was the springing forth of the chakra system, which is purple. It's purple. That's why the garment that they were pulling on, his garment that they were pulling on and ripping into 4 pieces, it was the color purple. Why did they rip it in 4 pieces? Foundation. Because at the point of crucifix is actually an X, not a cross. That's why Elijah Muhammad used the word X, because X means unknown. But within this X you have a square. That's why a lot of the traditional Jews have a square box on the front of their, it's called a template, I forgot what they call it, template, that's right here, to capture the thought pattern, or something like that. But the symbol of the crucifix is the crossing. So when Jesus was crucified, it talks about it talks about you. It talks about you rising up into spiritual consciousness at the Christ mind, what they call Christ consciousness. So the story of Jesus in the Bible is a representation of every individual when they come out of the womb and go into Egypt land as a baby. Don't children deal with the physical? Mine. That's what children deal with. Because they're operating from the carnal level. Right? But until they grow up, then the children go into elevation. And that's why Jesus always had a master. Okay? Muhammad, they always had a master that they went to. Okay? Jesus was after Hebrews chapter 6 verse 20. It says, whither the forerunner is for us entered. It says, even Jesus made a high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. Who's Melchizedek? Wow! Who's that guy? Melchizedek is the King of Peace. Well, what do they call Jesus? The Prince of Peace. So you never want to, have you ever thought, well, Jesus, well, who's the Prince of Peace? We need to start asking our Christian family. Who is the King of Peace? They'll say Jesus. No, he was the Prince of Peace. Who was the King of Peace? They may not be able to. It is Hebrews chapter 6, verse 20. And then going into chapter 7, it says, for this Melchizedek, king of Salem, or Salam, which means peace, or Shalom. He's the King of Peace. Jesus was the Prince of Peace. It says, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham, returning from the slaughter of the kings, and blessed him. It says, without father, without mother, without descent, children, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the Son of God. I thought Jesus was the only Son of God. Now Jesus is after the order of Melchizedek. Now they're describing Melchizedek as like unto the Son of God. Now you may get tricked or led to believe that when you quote this, they'll say, yeah, because that Son of God is Jesus. Buddy. But then you'll have to take them into the context. If that's Jesus, how can the king be a prince? If Jesus is after the order of Melchizedek, and then Melchizedek is like unto the Son of God, how can he be like Jesus when it just says that Jesus is after him? See, this is the trick game. And this is why it's so important for us to know language. So Melchizedek abideth